An Ohio woman is accused of falsely diagnosing dozens of people with Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. More than 50 people are suing Sherry-Ann Jenkins. They claim she, quote, lacked the training, education, licensing, and credentials to treat and diagnose patients with cognitive disorders. Michelle Miller shares how this devastated families. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. Well, none of us could know for sure how we'd react if we learned our memories would soon fade away. Some of the plaintiffs in this lawsuit claim they sold their belongings or quit their jobs. One man's family reports he killed himself. Another man told us he was ready to do the same.
I didn't want to put my children through dealing with every single day, not knowing whether dad's going to recognize you today. To me, at that point, it seemed easier to not be around for that.
Sean Blazek says he wrote a note instructing himself to swallow a bottle of sleeping pills should he ever forget his children's names. His wife Jenny told us she cried daily after they received his diagnosis, early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Oh my God, what am I going to do? I mean, when you get married, you think about, I'm going to have kids, and then we're going to have this time that we're going to grow old together, and I thought, we're not going to have that.
The 33-year-old, who has a history of concussions, went to the Toledo Clinic Cognitive Center for insomnia. He said he did not realize the woman who treated him wasn't a medical doctor. Sherry-Ann Jenkins opened the center in early 2015, saying, quote, I use a holistic manner with a scientific approach for my patients. I use neurocognitive testing coupled with PET and CT scans to confirm my diagnosis.
There was nothing to question in my eyes at that point. I went there for cognitive issues. I had the test right in front of me.
But CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus says medical staff should be licensed to interpret those results.
This diagnosis is a difficult one to make. It needs to be done with experts in the disease, and always you should get a second opinion when you're facing a deadly disease or a disease with a poor outcome.
Blazek did get a second opinion months later. Turns out his insomnia was not due to Alzheimer's. He's one of at least 55 people suing the Toledo Clinic, along with Jenkins and her husband. Dr. Oliver Jenkins was allegedly listed as a physician for many of the patients. Although he is a medical doctor, the lawsuit claims he is not qualified to provide such services. He never saw the plaintiffs and did not participate in their care and treatment.
Our biggest concern is that there are people out there living with this inadequate, improper misdiagnosis of Alzheimer's.
Last year, the Toledo Clinic sent Jenkins' patients a letter stating the Cognitive Center is no longer providing services, but that did not include a warning about the errors.
It was definitely malicious, and I hope people can get themselves a second opinion as soon as possible.
Sean Blazek says he threw out that bottle of pills. The lawsuit seeks more than $1 million for every plaintiff. Their attorney argues Jenkins overbilled several patients, meaning greed might have been a motive. CBS News was not able to reach the Jenkins. A lawyer for the clinic would not comment on the pending case.
Sure would like to know what they have to say about that. And really good advice to get a second opinion.
I hope every patient knows, what was going on there now.
Yeah.
Well, the Ohio State Medical Board is looking into it, but right now there are no criminal charges.
Glad we did this story, Michelle. Thank you.
Glad they're speaking up.